Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Pincade. I'm gonna try and make this one as quick as possible because this is more related to some people asking questions about how do I have multiple versions of Visual Pinball all working in one like central directory. Um, I'm not going to install this stuff. I'm not going to go through the initial video of how to get a base Visual Pinball install working. Um, I'm basically going to go through a very quick overview of how to get this stuff working. So, if you don't know how to install Visual Pinball, go back to my video that talks about installing a base install of Visual Pinball. So basically, the way I did it is, and I downloaded the files already, right? So I started with 9.2.0, whatever it is. I might have actually started with a different version now. I'm thinking about. Let me just see. I'm using 9.2.1. I actually downloaded 9.2.0. It's still the same thing. This is a full install, and I ran exe, the setup exe, and I just installed it to wherever I wanted to install it to. Then I took a VP main cabinet. This is already extracted, right? I just basically took this whole folder and dumped it. And I'm going to open up my Visual Pinball directory so you can see this stuff. So this would have been the full install, right? Minus this Fizmod table, Fizmod folder, this VP10 folder, this VP99 folder. So everything else here, other than those three that I have selected, was installed off of the full install, right? This vpin main is actually this folder here that I downloaded, this vpin main cabinet 2.5. This is basically just a drag and drop. If I open it, you'll see it. It's exactly the same folder, right? And then I ran the setup here and set up main, right? So now that there's one working version at this point, right? This is excluding getting all the VBSs and all the stuff that I talk about in the other video, right? Like I said, I'm briefly going through this. Excluding all that stuff, you have a working base install of 9.2 whatever, 0.1 whatever, right? So you got this base install working. Then I made another directory, right? Visual Pinball version 9.9. I think I'm running 991. That's what my shortcut says here. And that's right, I'm running 991. Okay. So I created another directory here. And what I did was I downloaded the 991 minimal install package. And when you open this guy up, all it has is just these files and an exe. A couple of DLLs, a couple of text files, and an exe. And I just made another folder inside of this main directory. I called it Visual Pinball 9.99. And I created a music folder, and I created a user folder, and that's only for stuff that might pertain to things that I'm working on in Visual Pinball 9.9. Like these files are for old school animated backglasses, I believe. These are all EM type games. I don't know what this guy is, JJ4. I don't know what that one is. But this has to do with the older style. And like I said, I just created this user folder. I didn't even put these files in here. They were generated by the backglasses. And then Visual Pinball 991 is just pointing everything back to this tables directory for its tables, and this vpin main for access to main. Right, that's all it's doing. Visual Pinball 10, I'm not going to really get into this. This stuff is still in beta, but it's a similar process. If you go to the VP forums, Visual Pinball 10 thread where they talk about, this stuff is in beta now, and they give you the links to download all the stuff. You set it up in a similar fashion. This one has a little bit more DLLs and stuff like that, and I put whatever VBSs they told me to put in there. only because it's a whole entire different version, and I really don't want to mess with that. But it's still pointing to this version of PinMame, and it's still pointing to this directory for tables. Fizzmod is also in here. If you don't know what Fizzmod is like the in-between physics state between Visual Pinball 991 and Visual Pinball 10. Right? They released a physics engine that was demonstrating what the new Visual Pinball 10 might be like. It's similar to Visual Pinball 10. Visual Pinball 10 is a little bit more polished, but once again, it's a music folder. I have a user folder, and I have a bunch of stuff. Right, that all came with the package. This TTF fonts thing, I probably didn't even need that. I just threw it in there because I was just whatever. Um, and when you see music stuff, sometimes this is user. Sorry. When you see music stuff, this is stuff for games that are calling out for this. Like there was a test game called Mopar Madness that was being built, and it required all these files to be in there. This is also files that are related to not Spooky Pinball. What the hell was the name of it? It was like some haunted house, homebrew type pinball machine. I forgot the name of it. I think it was called. Was it called Haunted House? Now this is gonna bother me. Hold on. America's Most Haunted. There it was. So a lot of these files are related to that, and this is only something that you have to do sometimes special. All right. Most of the time, you don't even use this music directory. Most of the stuff is in the ROM or whatever. But that's how you get that stuff working in there. And then if you want to know how to do it in Visual in the front end, geez, I'm having trouble speaking today. I go into the settings shortcut, and I'm just gonna quickly go over to where we can make our own extra other systems. Here we go. And like I said, here's a Fizzmod. I'm calling the folder Fizzmod. I'm enabling it. System type, alright, custom. I didn't even have that even selected. The working path for the actual system, which of course is going to be, C program file, Visual Pinball, Fizzmod, and then the table path is pointing to my tables that I had anyway already. And then my executable is the actual Fizzmod exe, and then I have this this parameter, play table path, table file. Alright, so this parameter is saying when you play, go to my table path, and then go to the table file. And then I got some stuff here that I don't want to get into this stuff because I didn't do a video on Fizzmod yet, but what I found is that Fizzmod utilized, very briefly, utilized a lot of registry settings from VP991, and I noticed that my nudging was completely out of whack because, like I said, the physics changed. So the nudging needed to be very high in VP99 for it to feel kind of natural for me. And then when I went to Fizzmod, like just my speakers being too loud would make the ball, go all over the place and even cause tilts. Just because the sensitivity of nudging was changed with the new engine. So I built some batch files to kind of go in, before I launch it. When I go to launch a Fizzmod table, it runs a batch file, and it sets the nudge parameters to what I want it to be. And then when I leave the table, it resets it back to what VP991 should be, so that it's only changing when I'm going into Fizzmod tables, since there wasn't that many Fizzmod tables. And I'll show you that really quick in a second. I just wanted to get through this, right? So now you've got this Fizzmod one, and you could do another one for Visual Pinball 10. You could do another one for Visual Pinball 991. All right. You'll eventually get this is my Pinball X directory. You'll get these databases. So you have one for Fizzmod. I have one for Visual Pinball 10. I have one for 991. and inside of them is the XMLs, which have the tables that I got, right? AC/DC, Austin Powers, Avatar, Dark Knight, etc., etc. And like anything else, there's a media folder in the root of Pinball X, and that also has a like Fizmod. Where is it? A Fizmod directory, which then has the backlash images and the table images and the wheel images, right? And this is for every single one. And that's pretty much it. That's all you have to do. I mean, I don't know if someone has a better method to it. Maybe I did something wrong, but it's worked for me. And like I said, other than having the Fizmod kind of sharing registry stuff with Visual Pinball 991, I haven't had any issues. I run tables in 920 that work better in there, and then I have tables that run in 991. I have tables that run in Fizmod. I have tables that run in Visual Pinball 10. I have MAME is now running in my cabinet. That'll be another video. I'm still working on that, but it is working to some extent. So that's pretty much about it. Really quick, if you want to, hey, sorry, my dog is barking at the door for no reason. If you want to stop the video now, that's pretty much done with that. I'm just gonna show you what was I going to show you guys? The Fizmod batch file that I have, right? So I have one it's a start batch and an end batch, and basically all this does is go to this registry key, and it changes stuff around, right? So this is the game for the X, the game for the Y. It changes to 20 and 30. I change the dead zone so that my speakers don't make the ball nudge. The tilt sensitivity, tilt sensor value, whatever this is, I don't even remember, and that the nudging is enabled. And then when I end the Fizmod table, I go in and I set these keys back to, I mean, you can see how much of a difference. I had it at 800 and I moved it down to 20, right? And the dead zone is different and everything else. But just to show you, okay, I must have obviously typed that wrong. Just to show you what I found that time. Oh, this is something else I was working on. Where is it? I might have to reopen that because I don't remember exactly where that key is. Hold on. Let me just open any one of them so it's software. Okay, let's get out of Microsoft. That's why I was having trouble finding. I'm completely in the wrong hive here. I don't know. Oh, I'm having like such a hard. Dog is distracting me. I'm just losing it. Visual Pinball is where I'm at. I really don't like working with registry keys, but is it in version? DX9, oh, it's in player. So if you see the stuff, where exactly is it? PB. Let's just look at PBW enabled, right? That's the software plunge. That's the plunger. But then if you see here, I think this right here is actually no, yeah, it's literally changing the DX9 parameters. I don't know why they didn't make a different registry key that was like FizzMod or whatever, because this one over here, I believe this one is VP9 920. Right, this PBW here, which is it's using a completely, say 500 500. It's using a completely different setting. And if I go to VP10, I have my own settings there as well, which I don't even think I've adjusted these because I haven't been playing VP10 at all. I played it a couple times just to get an idea. Tonight I'm probably gonna play it a little bit more. But yeah, so that if you're gonna install FizzMod, that's something to keep a mental note of if you're gonna be using a an analog plunger or whatever, a tilt sensor or whatever. So that was quick and short, 15 minutes. That's like a world record for me. That's pretty much how to get it working. I don't want to go any further than that. I don't want to get into, I know someone was asking me how to do it with VP8. I'm not sure. I don't use VP8. I don't even know. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even know if VP8 has a full screen mode. It looked like it was just for desktop. And I'm playing on a full screen, cabinet. So I once I saw that VP8 didn't work, I basically once I looked at VP8 and saw that everything looked like a desktop version, I didn't even bother installing it or tweaking or messing with it to get familiar with it. I will say that I know that this person was saying that some tables play better as VP8. I've seen that quite a bit. Like I said, I haven't used VP8, so I don't really know what the situation is there. But you might want to try and I don't know what else you're running, but maybe you want to try like a FizzMod or VP10. I mean, VP10 is not really completely done, and the tables that are coming out are like half done just to test features and stuff. But FizzMod is a working version because it's kind of hanging off of DX991. So you could play some tables there, and 991 I mean works pretty good to me. If you look at my flipper tuning guide and stuff like that and tune the tables, I found that a lot of tables play very well. I don't know exactly what problems you were having though, so it's hard for me to tell, what you're experiencing. But anyway, that answers the questions. I hope that was informative to everybody. I'm actually going to call it a night and try and get some actual playtime in. So have a good one, guys.